Hey y'all, welcome back. I'm Shayna Cersei and I'm so excited to paint with you today. Today we're going to do another one of our watercolor journal pages, and I am going to tackle that's such a harsh word, but we're going to do kind of an overlapping layering pattern. So layering is a really important part of watercolor in pretty much anything you paint. Watercolors are transparent. You can see through them. Even when you have really thick layers, there's still a little bit of transparency. So that's important to know and learn and also use to your advantage. So today we're going to do some layering with some basic simple shapes, but to make a really fun little pattern. Or illustration. We are going to be doing round leaves. So kind of a spray of round leaves. We're going to be doing lots of overlapping. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make some colors. I already have some colors in my palette here. I have some indigo and I have some green from the last page we did. And I have some phthalo blue. So I'm going to stick with all these cool colors, but I'm going to lighten them up quite a bit. So I had some... What was this? This was phthalo blue and a little green gold. So it makes this like minty color. So I'm going to stick with that. And I'm going to paint some round leaves. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to start in the center of my book and I'm going to make a little stem. And then a nice rounded leaf. So it's rounded at the top and it comes to a point at the bottom. And off of that, I'm going to make another one. So I am using core paints again today. And then I'm going to make a couple more over here. I'm using a size 8 silver black velvet brush. Any round brush will do for this one. Dipping into water. And you can do this a lot of different ways. You can make your first layer darker and you'll see how if you put lighter layers on top of it, they're very transparent. But I'm going to be layering light on light on light to get darker and darker values as I continue to add layers. You are going to have to let your layers dry. So I'm going to add just a few more here and then I'm going to switch colors, but probably maintain a similar value. You can see I let those two touch. All right, so I'm going to let these dry now, and then I'm going to come back with another color, but a similar value, and we're going to layer over top of these. All right, we're nice and dry. So now I have this indigo with a little green in it. This was a core color. This normally isn't in my palette, but I had a little tube of it that I got out for the last journal page. So I'm going to water that way down. And now I'm going to start to add in, again, you can see they're around the same value, but I'm going to let them overlap and look what happens here. So this and this are the same value, and then you get a slightly darker value here from the overlapping. You can see through it, which can create really soft and delicate. It makes everything look kind of soft and delicate because it's transparent. And it reads as thin. There we go. And not everything has to overlap completely. Like you can have some of these bluer ones off in their own area here, so it only overlaps a tiny bit. You do have to keep track of what you just put down though, because those are still wet and you don't want them to bleed together too much. maybe one over here. But this can definitely slow you down, make you go slower. You're going to want to rush through it, but you have to let things dry. You have to make sure whatever you're placing on next isn't going over something that's already wet. So this can be a nice and meditative process to slow you down. All right, so I'm going to do 2 more of these and then let these dry as well. Then we'll come back with a 3rd color and a 3rd layer. Okay, all right, let those dry. All right, we're back. Let's do a 3rd layer. I have some of this sap green and phthalo blue mixed together. Here, let's make sure you can see that to make this much kind of richer green color. So not quite as subdued as the first green. And we're going to add that and see what that looks like. So you can see that first green was much more of a gray tone, and this has probably the most saturation in it of all of our colors. The most vibrant color, even though, again, I'm still using a very light value. You do want to leave some space for some breathing room. But look at how soft and delicate each of these layers looks because of the transparency and overlapping. But it can be really fun and dynamic as a whole piece. So let me just do one more on this layer here. I'm going to do one like right over here just to kind of balance this section out. And now I'm going to let these dry, and I think I'm going to come in and add some darker paint to kind of doodle on these a little bit, just for fun. You could leave it like this. This is lovely. It's very soft, very meditative piece, but I'm going to add a little something extra onto it in the last layer. All right, I'm going to come in with one of my Micron pens. This is a size 5. And I'm going to add just some layers of, I'm not going to do it on everything. I'm going to pick out a few areas where, like for instance, for this one, I'm going to draw a strong line up the center. And we're going to draw some strong lines down this one side. There's one, and I'm going to leave it like that. Up here, I'm gonna do these ziggity zags, but I'm gonna stop them at where they overlap. So if it overlaps, I'm not gonna continue the line through there. There we go. There's that. Let's do, well, this one overlaps a lot, so let's do this here. In the center there. There we go. And maybe this one over here. gonna do, These lines are even, let's do this one up here. Do the ziggy-zaggy pattern. There we go. And I feel like I need something up here on this one. Do a double line that way. Actually gonna break the mold here. And just put on some circles and maybe this one here. I'm going to add that same pattern just so it appears somewhere else. And then, yeah, I think I could be done. Or I could add some gold. Or I could be done. I should be done probably. Because gold doesn't go with this. So you should tell me stop. Don't add gold. Don't do it. All right. I'm adding some gold. So I'm going under those black lines that I already put on, adding a little touch of gold to them. I don't know why. Whoop. Hopefully you can see that. I can barely see it as I'm working on it, trying to keep my hand out of the way. All right, and then I feel like I have to add, I feel like I need more circles. I'm breaking all my rules. But I'm very into this patterning lately. All right, so some of these I'm going to color in. Some are going to be solid, some are going to be open. And I think I'm done. I think I'm done. Okay. That is how we're going to leave it. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is a short one, but layering can be a lot of fun. Helps create that illusion of soft delicateness. You can get darker and different colors as you layer. They always interact with each other. And then throw in some doodles for fun, because who doesn't want to have fun? This one needs black around these circles now, around some of them. Sorry, it just stood out too much from the others. There we go. Okay, thank you so much for joining me. I'm Shayna Cersei. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out the description of the video for links to supplies and materials. And yeah, thanks for joining me all. And as always, thank you to my Super Thanks members and for joining me on this watercolor journey. All right, y'all, take care. Happy painting.